All right, welcome, folks. Today is the last day of Battle for Wisconsin. Today we've got an absolute powerhouse match between Stout and Milwaukee. It's going to determine our number two seed. I'm Adam Pound.
And I'm Twin Sanity, and no, I did not spell my caster name wrong. I'm not Twin Salty. And yeah, we have like you said, Adam, we have a very, very good game today. Both teams only have one loss, fighting for that top two seeding, and it'll be a very interesting game.
Yeah, looking at the seeding here, it's only a couple map differential. So both teams
Oh yeah,
five and
one map.
one. It's going to be Carthage and Whitewater on the other side of the bracket. That determines our first and second seed. So whoever gets the third seed finish here for Group B is going to play either Carthage or Whitewater in the playoffs.
So yeah, so as we can see, we have our playoff cutoff already. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of our stream once we know more where everyone's at. But teams that are, never mind. But first, we're going to look at UW-Milwaukee. So we have Specs on tank alongside Tramy. We have Hammy, Teske, Moonshot, and Arilith for DPS. And then we have Distinct Dish, Jason, and Stebanok for support. And that's a very solid roster. They've been very consistent throughout all their games. And I believe one of them is a former Contenders player. Am I right, Adam?
Yes. So when I was playing for Winton Overwatch, the test stream, some dish actually told me that Specs was a former Contenders player. So bit they had to nerf him because he played on the muck boat, so they put him on DPS.
They got to nerf his power just a little.
Yeah, for the test match, they wanted to keep it a little bit more fair and breezy. All right, let's look at the Stout roster. All right, Master Bubble, fantastic photo, may I say. We got Master Bubble, Odin on tank, Spinal, Krilp, Stealthy Sock, and Ganish on DPS, and then Cloud, Killjoy, Thesbia, and Jorkier on healer. Jacob, what are
All
you
right,
excited to see?
I'm excited to see this tank battle. I think both of these tanks are very, very strong, and I think with the meta being the way it is, I think we're gonna have a lot of Ramatra today. Probably maybe some Winston or Doomfist dive, and we'll see. I think that'll be the main key point. Whatever tank can get more done, I think that'll be the team that wins today.
I think we're going to see a lot of Orisa. Orisa, absolutely disgusting in my ranked matches lately. All right, let's look at our map. So for today, we're going to actually be starting on Busan, and if there is a tiebreaker map after, we will go to Ilios, but I don't think that'll come up today. So right now, Busan for our starters. Escort, what are you expecting to see on Escort? Obviously, we brought up that Dive is pretty good, Orisa is pretty good. Where do you think we're going to go with that?
I think it'll heavily depend on who wins this first match and what comps we see each team running. I think if it's a very rush heavy, then maybe we go towards Gibraltar or Route 66 for more dive. If we're not seeing a lot of rush, then maybe Rialto, and then Circuit's always there. If the team is like, let's just play Sigma, let's play Circuit, do our double hit scan or double snipers. I think Circuit's always an option out there, and you never know. Like that's the good thing with this tournament. You never really know what's gonna happen.
You brought up that whoever wins that first map. Well, I have a fun statistic for you. Stout is actually perfect on first maps. They have not dropped a first map this entire tournament.
Yeah, so that'll be a very key factor. Let's see if Stout can continue their dominance on control, or maybe Milwaukee can find one of those cracks and exploit it a little bit more. I don't know. With Busan is a weird map because it's a mix of dive on some maps, rush on others. So it'll be a nice, flexible map for everyone to show off what they can do.
I'm excited to see it. Let's look at our tournament structure and schedule because, as you know, this is the last day of our bracket. So we got Group A. That's going to be decided shortly for first and second seed. Third and fourth can also move. Group B, Madison's locked it in at the number one spot. Milwaukee and Stout fighting for that number two and number three spot, respectively. And then River Falls comfortably sits at fourth. We got a double elimination bracket. It's going to be last remaining team. First map is going to be, or so our schedule for that is going to be not next weekend, but the weekend after that. The 20th is when we're going to start.
Mhm. And unlike our regular season games, it'll be one match at a time. So we'll see. Teams will be able to see one by one how the other teams fall, and it'll be very interesting. And very interesting to see casting for that too. See what games everyone gets.
I think it'll be an absolute. It'll be juicy. Those matches where the big teams like Milwaukee and Madison, probably in match 8. Whitewater versus Carthage, most likely in match 7. I think it'll be fun. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen. We could see a couple upsets.
I'd say we're just finishing up March Madness too, Adam. You know, some of that madness could transfer over to Battle for Wisconsin. You never know.
So
Say we
true.
could have some teams that are pulling something out of the bag. We do have a new patch coming next week with Venture coming out, so maybe that changes the whole thing. Maybe a team that was struggling with the current patch might find something different in season 10, and we can go from there.
We got some players saying hello in the chat. All right, we're just about to get into it. People are picking their heroes. Looking like Stout's going to run that Orisa Sombra comp. Yesterday, it was very dominant when they were running it. Milwaukee opting over for that Sigma Sojourn. All right. We got Hammy and Jason on DPS, Distinctish and Dish on healer. Specs, as you know, that former contenders player. Stout, we got Master Bubble, Spinal, Stealthy Sock, Cloud, and Killjoy. So
And Chris, if they stick the sim, they are gonna. Or no, there it is, the Hanzo. So I think very interesting will be how much value the Summer can get against this double hit scan, and how much. Obviously, Jason's gotta hit shots. If he doesn't hit shots, then this Hanzo pick's gonna struggle. But we're meeting on this right side, and let's see who can find a little opening first.
Orisa trying to take that space, but Specs got there quicker. I don't know if it was that speed boost or what. Milwaukee kind of heading over towards the point, trying to get that high ground settled while still establishing point presence. Master Bubble's kind of getting caught out here. He's alone. Specs putting on the pressure. Distinct Dish takes down Master Bubble, but Dish also went down in the chaos. Final picks up Jason. Hammy takes out the other Sojourn. Final just trying to get that coverage.
I'd say, and Stout have the point right now, but how long will that last for? Without a tank, they might not be able to last super long.
Cloud goes down, so Stout is going to have to wait a little bit longer to get another fight in.
I think the key thing for that first fight, Master Roll lost both of his abilities right away, had to use Fortify and Jab Spin, and after that, that's the go button for Milwaukee. They go in, get the Orisa, and they can get control after that. They do let him get 21%, but overall, I think that point presence and now control will be worth it.
Sojourn and Lucio trying to find some space on that low ground. Ooh, but Distinctish takes out the Sojourn. Rock connecting on the Orisa. Orisa forced to use Fortify and Javelin.
Saying this is now full retreat for Stout. He's trying to staggers. Suzu saves our Lucio, and there we go. It's
another
a quick
fight
for Milwaukee.
A nice easy 30% coming up, 40% now. Spinal's only at 60% on the EMP. He was very close on the first part. He was about 50 after that first fight, so probably need to see him do a bit more work. Master Bubble coming up with ult. Kitsune comes out for Stout.
And there's the overclock as well. We got dueling Kitsunes.
Lots of Qs being used this fight. So far, 4 on the side of Milwaukee and several on the side of Stout. Milwaukee fight, it comes out. It works though, because Milwaukee's able to win that first fight.
And the Ajax for Cloud. I don't know if he ever got beat off. But this will be very interesting now. We got EMP, both DPSLs for Stout, and we're going to have Pulse Bomb for Milwaukee. It'll be interesting to see who Jason goes for on this trace, but does he try and go for one of the supports? Does he try and go for one of the DPS that's going to have the ults coming up?
I think you got to go with either the Lucio or the Kitsune. Obviously, Suzu is very dangerous. That's another action entire Pulse Bomb. So if they out Suzu, they'll be dangerous. That's very important. That's the result.
Oh, there's the pulse.
Lucio getting very low. Final goes down. It's going off. It's out for different.
But here comes Stealthy Sock on the Soj, popping the overclock, gets dish. They trace their in sig low for Milwaukee.
Jason very low.
Anybody's game.
Specs takes down Master Bubble, but they get the flip, so Milwaukee needs to win this fight now to take back control.
So everyone very lit on Milwaukee, but I think they just have the manpower. Oh, but there we go! Supports for Stout, kicking it in, getting 2 picks on their DPS.
Now does Stout does Milwaukee just need to take a step back and kind of recollect themselves and prepare for another fight, or do you think they stay in and try to get another fight?
I think you stay in. How close it is to capping, I think you stay in. And that's what their call is too. Specs going in with the Flux.
Gets 2.
Jason getting Spinal. Specs getting the carry with Flux, and I think this might be it.
Lucio going down. Alright, just the Orisa. Gold comes out. Suzu used. Alright, Milwaukee gets the flip. Is anyone able from Stout to touch?
I don't think so, Adam. I think that'll be it.
Very good
Very
round.
strong first point for both teams. Stout just could not get Milwaukee off that point, even when it was just the Sigma and the 2 supports. They just hung in there, waited for the DPS to get back, re-engaged, and they got the picks.
I want to
now
talk
we're going
about
to
that fight.
downtown, which maybe dive on this?
Master Bubble swapping over to the Winston. They're staying on that Sombra. Specs looking like he's gonna stay on the Sigma. I do want to talk about that the middle fight of that round. Milwaukee used about 4 to 5 ults, or it would have been 4 because Jason did not use Pulse Bomb. They used 4 ults to come away with it, and yet Stout still could not find their presence or footing after that.
It was a big game with their ult economy, but it worked out for Milwaukee. And now we got this poke versus dive matchup. And
Spinal going
just
very
gets
low.
out.
Gets picked by Jason!
Jason chases.
Now,
Big pick for Milwaukee.
How does Stout go about this? They're down on one of their bigger utility players. Master Bubble just kind of dealing a bit of poke damage. Suzu has come out.
There goes Suzu for Distinctish. And
Sigma's
Stout's got to find a dive target. They're kind of just chilling there for right now. Master Bubble's got to back out. If they get a dive target and go, they should be okay.
Oh, Stout has to retreat here. It's not worth trying to fight that. You were down 1 for most of the fight. You get back. Jericho very low, almost gets picked off. Jason trying to find it by sneaking into the back line. Spinal coming in on the right side, probably gonna hack that mini over there. That's a really big amount of healing and very important. Oh, hacks the Sojourn. Ooh, but he gets out, gets full HP.
They open the dive, then goes over to Dish. Dish is down, only now. And there goes Hammy too. It's a 5v3, now 4v3 for Stout. And they should be able to hopefully close this out.
Specs goes down. Just that Tracer, who is able to get out. Stout takes the flip, 47% for Milwaukee.
Alright, and ult's starting to come up. We got Primal and Pulse and Kitsune for Stout. And we're going to have Flux and support ults and Pulse for Milwaukee. So it'll be very interesting to see what ults come out first. And for Stout, you got to see if you can dive one of these supports before they get on. I'm thinking try and get Distinction.
Master Bubble has to play careful here. That Primal with the Flux, it absolutely does so much damage. Oh, Specs gets hacked out!
Oh, the hack out of Flux!
And gets taken down by Cloud. Oh, Stealthy. Milwaukee's just going down. Specs not happy about it.
Specs not happy with getting hacked out of ult. But look at, there we go. But for
Off
Stout
into
though,
the
that
Orisa.
is 3 ults used for their 2. But you do get it, you do force Specs to switch off the Sigma onto the Orisa. And now both support ults for Milwaukee and Overclock. I have a feeling it'll be a very quick engage for Milwaukee if they want to get this.
I think we're probably going to see the Kitsune come out on Milwaukee. They're probably going to try and take point presence. Because Stout, they're running that dive, probably doesn't have very much sustainability. Big EMP coming out. Specs gets hacked. Dish gets hacked.
Kitsune!
2, 3 going down onto the side of Milwaukee. Stout, very powerful presence now.
It's a big EMP from Spinal, cancels out the Kitsune from Distinctish. And that's what they need to do. If Stout's going to win, they need to do quick fights with these dives. And now, only else they're going to be out is the Pulse Bomb for Stealthy Sock. and beat for Distinctish.
And he gets hacked, taken down, but Specs is able to find the Tracer. It's a 4v4, both DPS, or both teams down 1 DPS. Cloud gets taken down, Stout down 2 now. MILWAUKEE just going for the quick flip, Stout finds their way out.
And right now, Stout just have to get out. They cannot stagger here. And even though Master Bubble's
in
kind
the backline, looking
in
for the soldier. Very risky for Master Bubble to be fighting here. Potentially gets caught out by this Orisa. Everyone on Stout, though, is running dive, so it's very easy for them to kind of rotate over. Jason goes down to Killjoy. Master Bubble very low. Orisa able to take him down. Suzu did come out, though, for MILWAUKEE. So Stout might be able to capitalize a little something if they're able to find a pick. If not, they might just have to regroup and get that last fight.
I don't know. It's going to be hard without their tank. They have to wait for Master Bubble to get back. And now it's going to be big ult fight here. There's Pulse.
Killjoy taken down. Master Bubble in the backline. Sombra almost goes down, able to keep DP away. Ooh. Big ult. Big ult! Takes down the Sombra and Lucio. Winston forced to use Primal, just him and Tracer. Tracer goes down. Specs is absolutely an animal on this tracking. Winston almost C9s with that Primal. Almost jumped into the train. Specs looking for Kiriko. Gets the Javelin off. Ooh, Kiriko's so low. The Stouts making their way back.
I'd say Master Bubble stalled long enough for everyone else to get back. They're going to have Pulse Bomb here. Final gets Dish. I think this is going to be Stout. I don't think the risk is going to be enough. There goes Beat. There goes Specs. Tracer's going to try and touch. I don't think it'll be enough.
Gets the touch off. Thing is anyone else able to? Hammy not able to touch. Distinctish, ooh, does not get it either. That was masterclass from Stout. Able to stall that out with Master Bubble using that Primal. Almost goes down to the train with Specs hitting that Javelin.
I'd say, and I also do Killjoy stayed alive just long enough to heal up Master Bubble, keep him in the fight, and next thing you know, all the reinforcements start coming in for Stout. And I don't know, 1-1 on more brawl point now for Mecha Base. I think it's anyone's game, and it's gonna be Zarya for MILWAUKEE.
Specs running that top 500 spray, just a little flex.
And just a little, you know, he's gotta flex it when he can.
Yeah. All right.
But this Zarya versus Rissa now, that's gonna be a very hard battle for. An interesting battle. You know, Zarya's good against Rissa, but I don't know. Master Bubble's been playing very well, so we'll see how he handles this.
Jason swapping over to the Reaper. Dish finding a random pick on the Soldier. Dish also getting a little risky with it. Specs able to bubble out and gets the bounce hop.
They decided to back up, wait for Spinal to get back. We were talking about the tank, but at the end, there's a DPS that falls first, and MILWAUKEE's going to cap. I don't know how what do you think, Adam? How Stout has to engage into this Zarya with the risk?
I think the number one thing is finding that Kiriko, because that Kiriko is able to just do so much healing. Rissa taking so much damage with that Reaper. Kiriko has to focus everything into that Orisa to keep the Orisa up. Jason still able to find Master Bubble though. Tracer getting low. Jason keeping that swift, almost gets the Lucio, gets the Lucio. Kiriko TP'd out, but might still go down. Never mind, Jason is forced to retreat. MILWAUKEE takes another fight.
A bit ambitious.
A bit inspirational.
With the spawn doors, but I'm pro Stout sticking this. I think it'll be a quick ult fight for both teams. We're gonna grab and just grab from MILWAUKEE, just Kitsune right now, and Spinal goes down again.
That's gonna be really difficult. The 4v5, but the Kitsune comes out. Master Bubble doesn't have ult, but still getting very into there. Jason finding twos. Cloud and Stealthy Sock. Hammy picks up the Kiriko. Master Bubble able to find the tank trade. Dish though then follows up with getting the Orisa. 60%. We see Dish taxiing back to Zarya. Get that Zarya nice and quick.
Sometimes all it takes is the funny Reaper guy to do an ult in a Kitsune, and that's a fight.
3 ults coming out for Stout.
Yeah, 3 ults for Stout.
About 3 ults for
MILWAUKEE. How fast can Dish get this beat?
Yeah, Dish needs to find this. It'll probably be used for that Orisa ult counter.
There goes the pulse.
Oh, Overclock gets wasted on the side of Milwaukee.
And all 3 ults coming out from Stout. Is it enough?
Grab
There goes
used.
the grab, there goes the beat. And I don't know. Specs low, they do flip point, but I don't know if Stout can hold this.
Might not stand for long. Master Bubble taking down a Tracer's, forcing that Zarya to use both bubbles.
Spinal doesn't get the pick on Jason, but the flip's already back.
5%. Is anyone from Stout able to touch?
And I don't know, Adam.
Lucio gets the touch. Ball gets the touch. Bit of an overtime fight. No really big ults used for Milwaukee. None had by Milwaukee. Jason's about to get this Death Blossom.
Spinal doing overclock.
Specs very high energy.
They get Lucio, but they go down right away afterwards.
2 down. Stout is not. Oh, that Kiriko gets Kitsune off. It's just up to Cloud to touch. Never mind. Milwaukee is going to take our first map, but it was a tough one. Shows us what we really got ourselves in for today.
We just had to say Stout has never lost control at the beginning, didn't we? We just had to talk about it at the beginning.
That caster overall, curse is real.
But very close still on all of these maps. And if we're looking ahead to Escort as we see past the bubble, just doing the pile, pushing everyone away, getting picks. I think if you're Stout, you have to do a dive map here. You cannot do Circuit. You can't do Rialto.
I was thinking
those
the
are
same
just
thing.
Too much. If you go to those maps, it's not going to work well, considering Milwaukee did better on the more poke and rush type maps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess Gibraltar.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think Gibraltar's more the go-to. I think Route 66, you risk it more with poke.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gibraltar's definitely more a solidified dive map. But I don't know. They could prove me wrong here.
With that Route 66, the third point, as you brought up, kind of a rush map, so it would be a bit risky, bit of a gamble for Stout to take that. We are going to go to Gibraltar, yep.
There we go. So there's much more Gibraltar for our map too. And I think this is where Stout, they may have, lost control, which they're a little bit not used to. But now that lets them pick a map they're comfortable with, and they can go in on their dive map and do what they do best. I think the dives were working when they can do an actual dive target and go on them right away. I think they were struggling a little bit here and there. They're kind of like waiting along, like trying to decide a dive target. Like they need to figure out one right away, jump, go, and get a target. If you're Milwaukee, like you gotta know if they're picking Gibraltar, it's dive. So you just gotta make sure you're prepping for it and having those counters ready to go.
Yeah, I think watching the gameplay, Specs really big on those rush characters. Seeing the Orisa and Zarya come out, kind of absolutely dominating on those characters. But on the one map of Busan that's dive, we see that Master Bubble Master Class on Winston.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be very interesting to see how, because we haven't really seen Spec yet today play those dive heroes. So does he switch over to more of a dive tank on this, or does he try and stick one of those other tanks?
Well, I've watched and played with some players from Milwaukee. I'm pretty sure they've got a few dive characters up their sleeves. We might see that Genji. We're probably going to see that Tracer still. But Stout has that Sombra, so we might not see much value with that Genji.
It'll be very tricky for the Genji, especially with Sombra and Winston. Genji's going to be very careful on where he's diving and getting in and out in time. And I don't know. It'll be interesting for this map. Because I don't know, like their Sombra was getting value more with EMPs than normal hacks, at least for parts of that map. Like Spinal was definitely having a rougher map too. Like especially on Mecha Base, Spinal got picked right away in that first fight, got picked early the next fight. So I think Spinal's gonna be the key for Stout. Like if they can get value more, the rest of the team was already playing very well. It'll be curious to see if Spinal can get back to his normal form, how this team can perform.
All right, looks like we're about to get into it.
All right, so let's see. Yep. It'll be Stout attacking first. And it'll be the D.Va for Specs on defense.
Very bold. D.Va is very good. That defense matrix, very powerful. I don't know how effective it's going to be with that Somber Tracer, though. Bunch of small burst damage as opposed to large projectiles.
Yeah, and if you're Stout, who do you dive here? Because you can't dive the Reaper, obviously, or at least you shouldn't. So I'm guessing more for Hammy? Hammy or Distinctish, but it'll be very hard to dive in, and Specs has the mobility to go peel when needed. It'll be very interesting to see what these dive targets are and who goes down first.
I think Stout's #1 thing is probably just to play a little bit poke with the ability to dive when someone's low. So they're probably just going to try and get people a bit down. Very risky for Milwaukee to jump up here. Able to find Hammy, though. That was quick.
But the Hammy's still on that close high ground. Everyone sees it. Everyone dives on him. Hammy goes down. And now if you're Milwaukee, you just kind of have to wait here for Hammy to get back. Just hold high ground as long as you
D.Va
can.
gets hacked. Takes lots of damage. Master Bubble taking a bunch as well. Jason, very low, needs to get healed up. Gets taken down by the Tracer, though. Milwaukee just needs to get out.
Milwaukee needs a full fight here. We've had a full fight since the beginning. First away for him to get back. Now for Jason. And Specs keeps getting hacked over and over again. Can't dive in as much as they want to.
Distinctish uses that Suzu on Master Bubble to keep him up. Jason goes down again. Stealthy Sock just destroying this Reaper pick.
Stealthy Sock having a game. And can they touch? They can.
Stealthy Sock.
Dish goes down, and I think this will be first point for Stout.
Specs stalling it out as much as he can. 5 minutes on the clock for Stout. That's what we were talking about. That's the dive we needed to see. Milwaukee just not able to keep up with it. Hammy and Jason both going down early in the fight, unable to get a full 5v5.
Stealthy just being a pest in the back line. Getting picked as Milwaukee's trying to set up.
Spinal almost goes down.
Spinal's got to be careful with Stealthy Sock setting up for this pulse. As also starting to come up for both sides. Milwaukee only has pulse or has D.Va Bomb right now, and we'll be getting Kitsune here soon.
Stout with the about 4 ult. D.Va gets hacked, gets the pulse bomb, kills Specs. Stealthy Sock is absolutely destroying it on Tracer. Jericho uses Swift Step, gets out.
Just gets out. Milwaukee with no tank, not sure if they can go. They can
know
win this
that
fight.
Kiriko just got Swift Step in time. Still goes down though. Lucio is very low, trying to wall ride out. Jason picks up Stealthy Sock with the Death Blossom, but not before Stealthy Sock finds Div.
Heroes Primal as well. All the ults coming out this fight.
X gets back. Primal is trying to force in that D.Va into the corner.
D.Va already low. Overclock coming out.
Big EMP! Specs finds Steinel. Master Bubble gets Specs. It's a trading back and forth.
I think finally some stability for Milwaukee as Hammy gets 2 with Overclock, and they can finally set up again. I'm right at the edge of the second checkpoint.
Stout still has that 3.5 minute time bank. Lots of time to kind of build up those ultimates and really find their footing again.
They talk about ult economy. All ults off the board. All 5 ults used within that minute of fighting between both teams. And ooh, Hammy's hacked low. Suzu he's gonna try and save him. I don't know if it'll be enough. No, it's not. Hammy goes down.
Dish and Distinctish in the back line, getting dove. Dish, very good wall riding, able to get out very easily. Amstead heals, but the Winston bubble blocks off most of it. All 4 of the Milwaukee players are pushed into this tight corner. Specs gets demeched. Hammy gets clouded, and Killjoy goes down as well. Master Bubble might go down here. Very low HP. Spinal gets the hack off onto Lucio. Jason picks up Spinal. Hammy takes down Master Bubble, and Distinctish finds the last kill with Stealthy Sock.
Milwaukee just enough to hold there. Silithox misses the pulse. I think it was a miss or a Suzu. But now for Milwaukee, you finally have some more stability. 2 straight fights, getting some momentum on your side. Specs has to remech, and we're gonna have Blossom and Rush for Milwaukee, and probably just Primal and maybe a late beat or EMP from Stout.
Yeah, I think if Spinal is able to get EMP here, that kind of shuts down most of the players on Milwaukee. Jason finds Stealthy Sock early into the fight! Jason uses
And here
that Death
comes the-
Blossom, but Spinal finds Dish. Specs follows it up, getting to Kiriko. But Stout is on point.
3v2 now.
Specs able to touch. Very close. Master Bubble. Mitsune comes out from Distinctive.
Well, Master Bubble leaves though. Master Bubble jumps away.
Cloud gets taken down. Spinal hack? Or Spinal hacks this Diva.
Specs going a little far, try to put some more pressure on this front line.
Spinal got that EMP during the fight. Stealthy Sock is approaching that pulse bomb, which in this patch, as you might have known, is more of an ability. Specs.
Yeah, well, how fast they're getting it might as well be. But
Specs
big
looking
EMP
for
coming up
that
here.
Sombra check. Big EMP gets 4. Hammy and Specs. Specs gets D-Mech. Beat coming out for Dish. Very large beat. Saves a bunch of players. Specs does eventually go down. Spinal very low. Has to get some help. Hammy takes down the Stealthy Sock though.
Everyone's
Reaper
so
gets
low on
that
Stout.
bubble.
Can they hold it out?
Spinal
Spinal
getting
with
at
2.
least 2. Yeah.
And there goes second checkpoint. Milwaukee finally, was starting to get some momentum there on second, but Stout found a way.
Well,
And here comes the Rissa.
swapped over to Ash. Stout keeping it the same. Reaper gets a random shot off onto the Sombra.
And Jason's still on the Reaper, which has been getting some value, but I don't know with how this last point is if they're going to get the same value if they're jumping up on high ground. As there goes Master Bubble.
Where's the Swift
Trying
Step
to
out?
find that Kiri.
Ash hacked in the back line, gets hit with Virus. It's very... Oh, stays up. Cloud looking like somewhere in the back line, gets taken down. Dish finds it, the Lucio battle. Distinctish so
Distinctish
low.
won.
Distinctish gets taken down. Ooh, Hammy with what looks like 1 HP survives, goes back into spawn, get that full HP. Stout though is just taking so much space here on cart. Big pulse bomb! It wasn't a stick, but it still lands. Jason follows it up with the Death Blossom, taking down Cloud. Looks like Stout is retreating though, except Spinal. Spinal's kind of playing it in the background, seeing what they can get.
It's a big fight here. Can Spinal get the EMP out before beat? And will it cancel a Rissa ult? I feel like Spinal's gonna play passive here. Wait for Rissa ult to come out, EMP, it'll do a big flip, and Hammy gets Spinal right away!
Specs takes down another. Stout down 2. 30 seconds on the clock. They need to just get out. Hammy takes down Stealthy Sock though.
On the stagger.
Very
Stagger on Master Bubble.
risky. Specs though, very
Specs
low.
might go down.
Kitsune coming out for Stout. If they're able to find someone, that'll really kick off the amount of space. Milwaukee has to use beat to keep those players alive. Marissa hacked. EMP comes out, gets 3.
Rissa ult's gone. Big EMP from Spinal.
Jason able to find Master Bubble.
Jason gets 2. 2 on cart, 4 Stout, but will it be enough? No ults for either team.
Cloud goes down to Hammy.
Cloud.
This thing just takes on Spinal. Leaning up on the side of Milwaukee.
Even with the big MP for Spinal, just not enough. And
Yeah.
Milwaukee hold on.
Yeah, we talked about it when they capped that second point. We talked about if that Reaper was going to get as much value as he would have on second point as he did on third. And despite all odds, Jason was able to still get that value, taking down Master Bubble a couple times and getting huge Death Blossoms in the process.
That's a big time third point there from Jason. And they did that last attack, or second last attack from Stout. I think they wanted to go a lot faster than they did with Spinal going down early at that minute mark. They had a quick reset, try and figure out a different strategy. But again, they had to use beat early just to get out of spawn doors and for Master Bubble to not get staggered. And yes, they did cancel out Specs' Rissa ult. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, they do hold on though. Still, Milwaukee can still win this map, although very difficult.
I'm not sure if Jason's gonna stick this or not. I I don't know. Hey, we have
Oh.
Lifeweaver. Okay, there's a strat that we don't know about here, Adam.
I think
I don't know.
Lifeweaver, the Baga.
And Baga. Okay, what
Okay.
what are they cooking here?
Milwaukee's trolling us a little bit.
I think so.
Maybe
yeah,
not
maybe
with the Bastion. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Maybe something cooking up in the books that they don't want to reveal yet. Doing a somber check.
Maybe map 5. Maybe we get map 5.
Yeah. Going in quick with
hack
the hack.
on Specs. And I don't know how they're gonna get this high ground away from Stout. Stout have a lot more mobility than this Milwaukee team right now.
I think Milwaukee's best bet. Oh, cancels flight though. Diva might get demeched here, using all defense matrix. Ah, never mind. Milwaukee goes up the stairs, trying to get a little bit of high ground. Their number one goal is probably to just win this fight and then get as much point presence as they can. Healthy Sock getting very low. Dish going down. Jason getting burned up.
Both TBS very low for Milwaukee. And Specs just has to sit there with Fortify, try and find someone to shoot.
It's hacked.
Everyone's at high ground though to cover.
Cloud goes down though. Diva gets demeched.
And a D-back.
Milwaukee somehow turned this fight.
Recall probably threw back up top.
Specs almost
somehow, some way, Milwaukee gets that.
I love April Fool's update. The googly eyes on the cart, fantastic. Master Buffalo coming back in, using defense matrix to kind of save the team from getting a little bit of beating. Now needs the touch, and Milwaukee very close to capping this point. Master Bubble, Suzu comes out, EMP comes out, Master Bubble still gets demeched. Cammy taking out the Sombra. Big Death Blossom taking down the Diva and the Tracer. Dish winning that Lucio 1v1. Jason finishing the fight, finishing off Killjoy.
And Norma Kitsune too on the side of Stout. Both EMP and Kitsune used there. And Milwaukee did a very good job of waiting for Master Bubble to be out of mech and after the EMP effect away, then to go in with Blossom. No one can eat it. I believe Suzu was already used and it's just a free Blossom.
Yeah, but looking at Milwaukee's ult economy, there is nothing for them. Stout coming up with that beat. They have the Diva Bomb. Could be thrown into a small quarter like this. Spinal takes out Dish in the backline. Spinal goes low too. Gets taken out by Specs.
4v4 now. Milwaukee a little bit lower on heals, but can they go back in and find a pick? Specs kind of goes on left side. Everyone going shift. Diva, Lucio's behind them. Diva up top. Diva low, and there's the D-Mech.
There's the Diva Bomb. Just used to get that mech back. Suzu comes out to save the Lucio, but beat from Cloud hits 3. Keeps up that Diva, Lucio, and Kiriko. Stealthy Sock very low. Might need to find a health pack in the back line. Kiriko TP's out. Specs finds Cloud. That's the Lucio down from Stout. That's a big amount of healing. Specs gets hacked though. Suzu coming out for Distinctive. Specs stays up.
It's a big sustain here for Milwaukee as all 5 go down. There goes Pulse and Beat and Bomb from Stout. And you have to wonder if a comp switch might be happening here soon.
Jason has to use Wraith to get out of there. Killjoy able to find Hammy though. Dish gets the stagger onto Cloud, sending him back to the spawn.
Hey, Jason's setting up for well. I thought he was setting up top for that Blossom, but it would be the same thing here. They gotta force out Master Bubble.
They're very far ahead. No one was on point.
Let's see, they lost a little bit of card progress from knocking on.
Oh, Jason gets taken out by the Kiriko.
That's an interesting rotate from Jason there. Now Stout finally getting some momentum again.
That allows
they have
so
Kitsune
much
and the Kitsune EMP would be big here.
Probably gonna see that in a couple seconds.
But if you're Spinal, you gotta make sure you get Lucio in it to make sure he doesn't beat. Speaking of Lucio, he's won! Just barely
so
getting
low. That was Suzu come out on Master Bubble.
Big!
It's all 5! Hammy gets taken down. Dish gets taken down. Specs does not find the Sombra.
They're all 5 down.
Only one ult used on the side of Stout. Very good. Milwaukee, though, also keeps all of their ult. Milwaukee has a lot more ultimates available for this next fight.
They did a very good job of finding finding Lucio, and not to mention just Lucio, the entire team with that EMP. And great target calling there to make sure the correct targets got down first.
Milwaukee only needs a little bit more card progress though, so this is a close match.
Both Kitsunes.
B comes out, Dish goes down though due to Juva Bomb.
And now Jason has ult. Can they get Master Bubble down or make sure DM's gone? There's Orisa ult. They have to touch point.
There's the D-Max. Specs goes down though. It's final. Oh, Jason with the double on the Death Blossom. Hammy gets 2 on the overclock.
And that's
Milwaukee
it.
wins map number 2.
Great job there for Milwaukee there at the end. Putting Orisa ult on cart, meaning like, hey, you have to come to me to touch. Deem has to go in, get D-Mac, and then it's free reign for Jason there with the Death Blossom.
You see play of the game come out. Hammy showing that dominance on the Soul Join.
A very interesting. It seemed a lot closer in that first half. Milwaukee were doing STOUT was doing very, very well on their dives. And the Milwaukee on their attack just comes out like, you know what? No, this is how you attack without a dive tank on Gibraltar. Say, Rissa, the whole time.
Yeah, it was.
They heard me talking about dive, and they just like, no, we don't care. We're just gonna run Rissa anyways.
I think it definitely came down to how they use those ultimates. That ult economy for STOUT was always consistent. They would use a few to win a fight, and they would have one for the next fight over.
I absolutely agree. But now for Flashpoint, I don't know. Both of them are kind of more rushy maps. It'll be interesting what one gets chosen, and we will find out after a quick little break here. We will see you guys back in a little bit.
There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a heat wave rolling in. You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So we have a little score update from our other top group game. So we have Carthage and Whitewater, and right now Carthage up 2-1 on UW-Whitewater after winning Busan and
Flashpoint.
Suravasa, and it'll be Flashpoint, and that'll be a very interesting game to keep track of. But for our game, we're going into Suravasa now for our Flashpoint map, Adam. And what do we think? Anything's really going to change for Milwaukee, and what adaptations do you think Stout needs to make?
I think we're gonna see that Orisa still come out. We're probably gonna see that Sombra come out for Stout. It'll probably just be kind of run of the mill, same as we were seeing. Another score update though. Stevens Point beats Lakeland 3-0 and MSOE beats Platteville 3-0, which means for our third and fourth seed on the A group bracket is going to be determined already.
Alrighty. So now that we know we know all the games from around the league. So let's see. I have a feeling. Do we think JQ? Do we think we could get a mystery JQ? I don't know.
I think
I
we
know
could
JQ's
see.
kind of the flashpoint hero, but
I think we might see Specs run it for a little bit, see if it works. I also have seen Specs do the Sigma on here. But the Orisa is so powerful, we'll probably see that again.
Yeah, and like if it's working, then why would you switch, right?
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting. I don't know. Like what do you think the goal should be for Stout? Like who needs to go down on Milwaukee first for this to work?
I think Specs is getting so much value. The healers are going down, but Specs is able to find one or two by the time the fight is over. So Stout is kind of able to find it, or Milwaukee's able to get taken down by that Jason Reaper in the back line. So finding that Orisa Reaper in the back is probably what they need to be looking out for. We're going to see, okay, Milwaukee's messing with us again. Stout running what looks like a Ram Tracer Swordlord with a Lucio.
So yeah, Stout with the more typical comp for this map, and then
Milwaukee's will see in probably
something.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I have a feeling we're not sticking what's going on right now.
Mercy.
Even though Doom maybe. Doom actually could happen.
Okay, there it is. Okay, we're running Zarya Soldier and Reaper with Jericho. Oh, I got it.
It makes you wonder if the balance patch fixed it. But let's see, Stout coming in with the Ram. And it'll be a little bit interesting with this Ram pick if they can just wall off this aggressing Zarya. But
takes
I don't know.
Presence. Specs getting very high energy already. Suzu though does have to come out though by Distinctive to keep that Zarya nice and high health.
And Specs a little bit separated from the rest of his team.
Specs able to find the head in Kiriko though. Glowing like a Christmas tree. That energy is high.
That's it. And Stealthy Sock very low, has to back up. Master Dribble goes down to Hammy.
Cloud
and
goes
Cloud
in,
has to
tries
run. Run, Cloud.
Jason takes out the Tracer. Ooh, that was close. Cloud stays alive with about 30 HP. Milwaukee already up 40%.
Tried to do the mystery flip, but unfortunately can't. I don't know on the May.
That's an interesting pick. Probably trying to wall off
Specs.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Specs being aggressive as he's been, maybe just walling him off, trying to do a little bit more punish.
I think they also might try to get Jason, because Jason, if they get rid of Wraith, then Jason's kind of just locked. That teleport is very slow. Probably not going to be able to get him out in time.
Master Level lit so fast. The second he drops down, he's on half
Hammy takes him down though.
And that's first point.
Milwaukee doing some
cleanup. We're going to have some stragglers, but that'll be it. Master taking way too much damage on the walk-in.
Spinal gets super staggered.
No.
Milwaukee takes that first one.
Reaper.
Yeah, so as I said when we were getting into the match, Jason is able to find so much value. Specs able to wear down the team, and Jason just comes in and burns their weapon.
And now coming up here, Stout have no ultimates yet. Milwaukee's gonna have 3.
Jason barely hits the wall. Grab Grab is up. So we might be oh, Spinal goes down to a random double.
Okay, here comes the Kitsune from Stout. Is it
Grab.
too little too late? Here's the grab.
Jason able to find two. Oh, oh, Annihilation gets wasted by Master Bubble. Killjoy gets taken down, cleaning up the Stout crew.
And while Milwaukee had to use 3 ults, they got out Annihilation for a wasted fight.
Specs gets the
that's
cool right click.
some Zarya tech I didn't know existed. But yeah, Cloud just didn't have enough time to get that beat up to save his team. And now support else from Milwaukee beat for Stout. I guess we beat for beat, but when does this Kitsune Rush come out for Milwaukee?
Specs or Spinal forced to use that ice block early in the fight. 80% onto that. Oh! Cloud has to use beat, but Master Bubble still goes down. It doesn't hit early enough. Spinal gets the Blizzard. Healthy Shock about to get the Death Blossom, but Spinal's able to find Jason.
Spinal has
Specs gets two. Hammy gets another one. Hammy gets two.
Specs and Hammy bring this fight back for Milwaukee.
Milwaukee
and I don't know if they're gonna have time.
They got 20%.
I think that'll be second point for Milwaukee.
They could get a stagger touch, but I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, Milwaukee's just gonna take it. Stout doesn't want to push. Oh. Master Bubble does want to push. They do get a install in. Master Bubble gets down very low. Blizzard coming out.
Are they in? No one gets caught in the Blizzard. They have Blossom, but can they use it? There's Blossom.
Stealthy Shock gets two. Hammy takes down Stealthy Shock. Jericho very low. No more picks coming out. Souljorn very low.
Everyone on the side of Milwaukee so low. There goes Hammy. I think Stout with the last minute touch is just going to be able to actually get this point and start trying to get some progress up.
Stealthy Shock really sealed the deal with that double Death Blossom.
As a Spinal's Blizz forced out on the main cooldowns from Milwaukee. And
Specs gets walled off.
Jason go.
Specs gets walled off, has to use both bubbles, gets taken down by Spinal.
And here's Jason. Can Jason get out? No, we can't.
Spinal.
Big stagger pick.
Spinal's May is coming in really clutch right now for Stout. We are going to see that grab and the Death Blossom combo like we saw at the beginning of this point. With Killjoy coming up with the Kitsune. We are going to have beat and Annihilation. Spinal with a big flick onto Hammy.
Spinal putting this team on his back right now.
Big grab! Jason Death Blossom. Cloud has to use the beat.
The beats are off. Beat is out. Kitsune's out.
Equal trades.
We're going to get an Annihilation here soon. As all the ults are coming out from both sides here.
Specs getting pocketed. Suzu uses bubble. Beat comes out.
Did someone touch?
Stealthy Shock, 5 HP. Oh, Jason finds it in the backline. Draws him away from the point though, so Stout does have to, or Milwaukee does have to come back. Spinal uses
Annihilation does come out, but can he get much from it? I don't know. Here comes the Blizz.
Bubble used from Specs. Suzu also used. Jason's able to find the Kiriko in the backline and the May.
Jason with the 3K.
And Dish with the 2K, finishing off the fight. Milwaukee is going to flip this and seal point number 2.
I liked the aggression from Stout. I think it just went too long. I think at one point they needed to back out and reset. Like, they got their stagger picks, they needed to reset, get out, fight in more favorable positions for them. It just got out of hand way too quickly. And now for Milwaukee, grab coming up. For Stout, they have nothing for this grab. So they're play spread out if they don't want to get caught out.
Stout needs to win this point if they want to continue this match any longer. Milwaukee up 2. Jason able to find an early pick onto the Ramattra. Specs going in, uses the grab, gets Jason, finds Stealthy Sock in it, and Spinal goes down to the Zarya. Dish wins the Lucio 1v1. Reaper finishing off Killjoy. Team kill for Milwaukee. Milwaukee does get first cap. Stout is going to have that Kitsune rush. Cloud's coming up on the Lucio beat. He'll probably get that early into the fight.
Can he get it in time for Jason?
Jason's in the back line looking for something stealthy.
And they're going in this staircase again, which is
Looking
just
for a
such a tight
TP up
corridor.
top. Unable to find anything. Big Kitsune rush. Jason uses the Death Blossom, does not find much value in it. Has to fall back to get that.
Suzu, that's about it. Here comes Beat.
Stout almost gets the
The
point
best roll
flip.
was so low.
Suzu comes out. Stout gets the flip. Fight's not over yet. Looking for Spinal. He's low on the left side. Cloud goes down. Jason with the
Cloud down
monster.
here.
Blizzard stalls out.
Blizz is out. Beat is out. Overclock ready to go. And here goes from Hammy. Can he get the picks? Specs gets Master Bubble.
Ice block.
Ooh, Stealthy gets Hammy though. Nothing for Overclock.
Here comes Chris down. Finishing off the May with a melee. Jason absolutely dominating it on the Reaper pick.
Hammy now on the Tracer instead of Sojourn. The big thing for Stout, they did manage to flip it early with that. So at least they're able to get some point progress on there. If they didn't flip it, the game would have been over.
Denies a lot
But
of
now, big fight
percentage.
here for Stout. Win or go home.
Stealthy Sock gets that Death Blossom. Annihilation is very close. Same with the Kitsune. Milwaukee just has the grab. It needs to be big if Milwaukee wants to take this point. Massive, but Stealthy Sock's able to find Jason in the chaos. Gets two. He gets Hammy. Specs takes down Reaper though. Stout gets the
Stout
flip.
does get the flip.
Milwaukee.
4v3, 4v2 now. Ooh, can they get the Zarya? Squeeze out. But big, quick fight win there from Stout. Even though they had to use both Kitsune and Reaper ult, they did punish that grab. So now Annihilation ready to go for Master Bubble against Jason's Death Blossom and Distinctish for Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, Jason needs to find a pick here. They want to get their foot in the door. Master Bubble very low, has to use his... Oh, Jason's able to find Cloud in the backline. Jason also finds Master Bubble on that Ramatra.
3 down, Spinal gets the Blizzard off, but I think it's too little too late. Spinal goes down, there goes Killjoy. And I think that'll be it. To UW-Milwaukee. Coming in big in this last game of this big game against Stout. Come with the 3-0 victory. And I think Flashpoint pretty convincing fashion, Adam.
I would agree. So Jason able to find the absolute masterclass, even gets the play of the game. Little score update. Carthage does take down Whitewater 3-1. So Whitewater will be the number 2 seed. Carthage takes the number 1 seed, going 7-0.
But yeah, big results coming in from all these teams, and now we have our solidified playoff bracket.
So Stout is going to be the 3rd seed. Milwaukee at our number 2. Stevens Point and MSOE are also going to be locked into where they're at.
So here we have our standings. First of all, we'd like to do a big thank you to Lakeland, Platteville, Marquette, Green Bay, WTC, and Southwest Tech for all coming by and participating in this amazing tournament. But with that said, we have our top 8. We have MSOE, Stevens Point, Whitewater, and Carthage for Group A, River Falls, Milwaukee, Stout, and Madison for Group B. And Adam, there's going to be some very interesting games in this playoff bracket.
MSOE with that very tough match. They're going to have to play Madison in their first round. Madison's absolutely... They are stacked as a roster.
But yeah, here we have our double elimination bracket. Games will start on the 20th. So two weeks from yesterday, we will have our first 4 games starting at 1 p.m. 1 game at a time, folks. We'll start first at 1 p.m. with match 1. And we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see how this meta changes in the next 2 weeks and what teams come up to the challenge.
Yeah, we've seen the pre-patch work with Venture. Venture very shown to be very overpowered.
I say, do we have someone who can play that Venture well in this tournament? And I don't know, maybe a big patch comes in with it. You know, maybe Ram and Orisa get nerfed. You know, we never really know until that patch. It's Blizzard, so like, do we ever really know what they're thinking? I don't know.
We'll see as time goes on. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today. It was an absolute wonderful match between Milwaukee and Stout. The score might not reflect it as a close game, but it was a back and forth battle the entire time.
And Stout was, and don't get me wrong, even though they lost 0-3 today, Stout's a very good team, and they can make a run. You know, might just be an off day for them today. They go back, look at the VODs. Stout can still very well be a team that's going very far in this tournament. But we'd like to thank everyone again for stopping by, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Peace.